Hey guys, it's Cauliflower, and today I have a little bit of a different video for you. But before I get started, I just want to put a disclaimer out there right out of the gate, just to let those people know that this is not exactly the happy go joy lucky video that Cauliflower is making. But at the same time, it is not to be taken seriously or personally by any means necessary. This is a video I decided to make that is personally for therapeutic reasons for me, not the whole general YouTube. Last summer I made a video in relation to this. It was called my top 10 YouTube pet peeves, content creator, where I discussed about things that being a YouTuber, reviewer, blogger, what have you, are just irking me. But this time I'm going to make it a little bit different. This time it's going to be a little bit more personal. What I'm going to be doing is sharing some of the things that I do have pet peeves on YouTube, but also some top comments, and I should say, I don't know how to put this, so how to preface this. I'll say comments or perceptions that are said about me personally, and I'm going to address how I feel about those comments and give you a little bit of my reaction, because that's just what I do. All right, so let's get started about some of the things that are said about me on certain videos, in certain comments, and I will refer to certain things here and there. Some of it is actually dating back a little bit, so if you guys are not familiar with that, if you're new to my channel, basically these are just videos that I've made in the past that I've had certain comments said or made about me, and I wanted to address those things because they seem to still carry over today. And all right, so the number one, I'm not even going to put this in any kind of like order. The number one comment that I get a lot and told to is that I am passive aggressive. What passive aggressive means is you're non-confrontational, you don't really want to do what people want from you or give too much information, that kind of a thing. I've been told that I do that in some of my videos, that I have done some of those types of videos where I'm ranting or I'm speaking on personal issues, and then I become very passive aggressive because I'm not really saying who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, or that I'm just generating or trying to generate or gain sympathy or gain empathy from my viewers and subscribers. And as far as I see it, as far as in the realm of being a person who suffers from depression and suffers from anxiety and all those lovely things, that at times I can seem a little bit not clear in the things that I do say. There are times that I try to balance between being politically correct and also trying to be just human, just somebody who has human emotions, human feelings, and who wants to give their opinions or wants to express and talk about their side of things without convoluting the actual situation. So that might be seen as passive aggressive. And I'll date back to a few videos I made a year ago, which I will link a couple of these videos that they're talking about, because why not? Some of them were in relation to a fallout I had with a good friend. As you guys all know, I've talked about it a million times. And there were times that I made certain collie chats, certain videos, where there were things that were said in other videos that were doing the same exact thing that people claim that I do, that I responded to. And even though it might not have been the best thing to do at that time, it was the way that I worked through the situation. And unfortunately, what ended up happening is I developed that stigma and I developed that label that from henceforth, any other video I made talking about me personally would put me in the category of passive aggressive or being vague or non-confrontational. In my life, I'm a very straightforward person. If there is a problem I have with somebody, if there is an issue I have with somebody, I'm all about getting it out in the open, discussing it and talking about it, and then hopefully moving on from it. And if that's not possible, if that's not the case, and it becomes argumentative or it becomes one-sided or whatever it is, then I back away. Or, yeah, I will fight. I'm not going to deny I don't fight. I'm not going to deny I don't speak up for myself or defend myself, but I will walk away. I will leave it alone. And I'm going to get to other things later on as far as like why I do that. Okay. So the number two comment that is said about me a lot is, you're too emotional. You're just so sensitive about everything. And that goes back to deriving from, yes, as a human being, anything that is said about you, anything that is negatively said about you, it is going to derive a reaction, whether it's a good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know anybody that reacts to anything negatively said about them in this, happy-go-lucky facial expressions and, comments that are going to sound, oh, well, thank you so much for giving me that. Now, as far as being sensitive, yes, I admit it. I am sensitive to a point. There was a time where you couldn't say anything to me, to be honest with you. In my younger years, in my 20s, when I was still not realizing, or I was going through so many things, I was very troubled in my youth. And going through things, yes, everything people said to me, I took very sensitively. I think a lot of us that are young adults, we take things sensitively. We tend to react or get defensive about when anyone is trying to talk to us about anything or trying to school us, as people say, or advise us. I know a lot of people take a lot of what I say as me schooling them or advising them, and it's not because I'm trying to advise. I guess maybe now that I'm older, it's more or less trying to just kind of relate and say, hey, I've been there, even though it might come off sounding like I'm being like, mothering or schooling or what have you. But as far as being sensitive or too emotional, how many people don't react to, I don't know, I react to everything. I react to commercials, I react to music, I react to comments, I react to my daughter, I react to everything. I'm a human being. I mean, if you pinch me, it's gonna hurt. If you stab me, it's gonna bleed. You know what I'm saying? So as far as being too emotional, that's all in a sense of perception, and it's also part of being a human being that has feelings. And if I didn't have feelings, well then I couldn't respond, now could I? All right. The next thing that has been said about me consistently, or at least in comments or directly, is that I insert myself into drama, or that I start drama. This is amusing to me, coming from the very place where people make nothing but dramatic comments and just, I don't even know. The two most dramatic places on the web, in the web, is YouTube and Guru Gossip. They are the two most dramatic, most gossipy, most just sensationalized places to be. And when you are putting anything out in the public, I'll give them that. When you put anything out there in the public, it's up for scrutiny. Well, okay. Guess what? As far as inserting myself into drama, the only way a person inserts themselves into drama is if drama is started that involves them. And that 9 times out of 10 is something I respond to, because it will include me, where my name shows up somewhere, where my name is said in certain conversations or said in certain comments or said on other people's videos, whether they're being vague or passive aggressive or not. That is what I will react to. So if that is inserting myself into others' dramas, as you all know, I have been put there. I have been included. Once somebody tells me about something, as far as like a friend telling me about their troubles or somebody wanting support, if that's called inserting drama, then I guess that's where I'm at, because I call it supportive. All right, let's get to one of my pet peeves about YouTube, and then I'll go back to my comments. So, in relation to all of this passive-aggressive, vagueness, emotional, inserting into drama, I want to talk about the hypocrites on YouTube. And those are the ones that will actually tell you or talk about you and say these things about you, and then go and make videos exactly the same, and still will relate the same message you've related, only they're doing it in their own way. How is that not the same thing? That is the most hypocritical thing I have seen on YouTube, and I've seen it in the smaller communities. I've seen it with people that will say, oh, I'm not part of the drama. Oh, I didn't make this video for anybody specifically. Oh no, I'm not talking about anybody. You're full of shit. I'm just gonna say it. You're full of shit. It's the most hypocritical thing I've ever seen in my life. You're always pointing the fingers and saying, oh, you're doing this, cauliflower, you're doing that, or you're being this. But then a year later or a few months later down the line, all of a sudden there's another video that tends to talk about the same thing. And maybe you're not directing it at me because some people think I assume, but I think that what ends up happening is that you just keep that same cycle going. You want to just put more and more of the emphasis on the people that you're targeting. You're just talking about the same things over and over again, and you're just targeting the same people. People have a right to say and do whatever they want on their channels with the modicum of decency, and it should be with anybody. That's with me or anybody that watches me or anybody that makes videos. If you're going to make videos stating certain things about YouTube, remember to include yourself in there and stop being so gosh darn hypocritical. Just saying. All right, back to comments about me. There's one specific thing that is not in general about me, but it's about just people in my life, and it's about me as a mother and me with certain people I'm close to or friends with, and that's in my personal life. Listen, I am a mother, proud to be a mother. I am great to my daughter. She has a great life. She is the most thriving, most wonderful teenager, and I am proud to raise her. And my whole thing about being out there in the public eye, I get that people want to make comments, I get that people want to say things about you, but to really put in any form, and I mean in a video, on a website, on Twitter, whatever it is, about anyone, not just me, anyone's family or their relatives or their children, anybody, really should be exempt. It should never happen. It is the worst thing you could possibly do. Nobody who doesn't make videos or who doesn't put out content wants to be treated that way, wants to be told that they're a bad mother because they talk about a certain topic, or that they do this kind of thing instead of going out and working a real job, as some people like to call it. First of all, you don't walk in that person's shoes. Second of all, how dare anybody make comments about anybody's family or anybody's close friends or anything wrong with anybody that is in their family? That's not for you to say. In fact, it's the most just impersonal, insensitive thing, and I think a lot of people on YouTube need to stop doing that. Stop saying stuff about other people's families, friends, and what have you. It's unnecessary, and it's just a very disgusting thing to do. Just saying. Okay. Next thing, as far as pet peeves are concerned, is the YouTube makeup scandals. Haven't we learned anything with the Gerard Cosmetics thing? Haven't we learned anything? I just keep seeing the same videos being made, and it's almost like a formula. And I use that word every time I say things that have to do with YouTube, because it is sort of like it always falls into that same YouTube formula. Let's make videos about the same types of things because everybody seems to watch them. And this is always surrounding anything that has to do with YouTube or makeup or YouTubers making makeup. Now it's both. So we've got the Jaclyn Hill, we've got the Jeffree Star, we've got the Manny MUAs, we've got the, whoever else, Graveyard Girl, whoever makes makeup with a big company, and then people rush to buy it and they get it and it's complete crap. Why are you surprised? This is, again, go back and remember when celebrities make perfumes like Jennifer Lopez or Britney Spears or anybody. They're making knockoff perfumes and they're selling them at mass quantities and they're selling them with their name on it, but they don't necessarily get behind the making of those perfumes. These are just things that are made as a result of their name in mass quantities for their fans. And I think the same goes for YouTubers. Now that YouTubers are so sensationalized and so popular and people watch them more than maybe actual people on television, of course, now that they're so popular, they're going to make or put their names or attach their names to their favorite makeup companies, but it doesn't necessarily mean the makeup you're purchasing is the same quality as the makeup companies normally make. So why are you surprised that when anybody puts a makeup thing out there, if they put out a limited edition palette, that it's shit? Why are you surprised? This is almost like the same type of marketing I'm talking about as far as celebrities are concerned. The Kardashians have lines of things. They have makeup and stuff like that, and some of it is shit. That's bottom line. It's you put too much emphasis and too much expectation on what you're purchasing sometimes. And I think we all want that perfect thing. We all are like, oh my God, my favorite YouTuber made this. It's gotta be good. And that's not the case. And that's not just for YouTubers. Look at Kylie Jenner. I mean, she made her liquid lipsticks and the brush was crappy or whatever it was. I mean, it's not perfection, guys. YouTubers are not perfect. They slap their names on certain products, and sometimes these products end up being crap. Just saying. Okay. Another comment that is made about me, which I love this, is that I'm crazy. I'm psychotic. Than just jaded, ugly, and I don't mean that aesthetically, I mean that internally. I'd rather be that than as overcritical, judgmental, mean, nasty, bullying. I'd rather be crazy, psychotic, and be living in my own world, which is really, honestly, a very nice and content place, than, the people that say you're crazy, you're psychotic. Because, again, you're labeling. And, again, you're saying things about people that really you should take a real dark look at when you call somebody something or when you say something in relation to how you think you feel about them because you don't know them that well. There are a lot of people that suffer out there, and what you call as crazy is what they call as something they're suffering through. And it's unfortunate that not everybody can be like me, because if you call me crazy, hey, I don't really care. But not everybody can be like me and not care about the words that are used. So if somebody is suffering from depression, or they're suicidal, or they're, having a really, just whatever it is, and you call them psychotic and crazy, they may take that a step further, and that's unfortunate. So you really should think about the words that you use, not just to me in general, because it doesn't really bother me, but in comments or to other people. And that's going to segue my last thing about a big pet peeve I have on YouTube, and it's a big pet peeve I have in life right now. I know that we all like to say catchphrases and things, and, some things are cute and some things are funny, and I think some things are used way too much. I think some things are used to the point of that really, if you think about, if you said this thing 20 years ago or 15 years ago or even 10 years ago, you would be severely, severely just acknowledged in a very negative way. And this is the use of the words, kill yourself. Why is the youth of today in every video, and I see it a lot in a lot of videos, I'm not just pointing at a certain community, I see it in a lot of videos, in comedic videos, I see it in, just in whatever videos, when you're trying to make a point about just like if you're having a bad day, oh, I want to kill myself, oh, just kill yourself. Or if you don't like somebody's, makeup look, oh, kill yourself. Or if you don't agree with somebody, oh, just kill yourself. I mean, it's the worst thing you could possibly say, and people are now saying it in comments of videos. Any video, YouTube, large YouTubers, smaller YouTubers, guru gossip, what have you, everyone is, oh, kill yourself. And again, I have myself been accused of saying this to people on that website. And again, I'm going to say it again and state it again, that has never left my mouth. And anything that has to do with saying something of that magnitude, I think is disgusting. And I think a lot of people, especially the younger generation now, making videos, set an example for the next generation that you shouldn't be using these terminologies. You're going to be raising kids someday. You're going to be telling your kids about your legacies and things that you grew up with, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I was on YouTube and I told people to kill themselves in videos. Like, I didn't really mean it. It was just something cool to say. It's not cool. It's not funny. And it should never be said. It shouldn't be said to anybody who's making videos. It shouldn't be said to anybody in the comments. It shouldn't be said to anybody for any reason. Any reason. Unless they're murderers and rapists. You know what? Because those people deserve to die. But you know what? Other than that, kill yourself? I mean, it's disgusting. It's got to stop. And that concludes my video today, guys. So this has been, just the negative venting right off of me. Like I said, I do apologize for anybody who has a problem with this video. I am sure that you will find a way to make some whatever out of it. I just want you to know that, again, this was a decision by me, therapeutically, to get out some of the things that bother me about certain things that are said. not certain things that are said, the things that go on YouTube, but the things that are said about me per se, I can't control. It does bother me as part of being a human being and being on YouTube. Of course it does, especially that it impacts how I make my content. It impacts how I feel about making content. And sometimes if I don't release that, I cannot continue to be Miss, happy-go-lucky that I really am. If you actually met me, guys, you would know I'm a lot more happy-go-lucky than some people give me credit for. But that is it for this video. I hope you got something out of it. If not, I apologize, but I did do this for me. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.